We do have just people dropping left and right. Zygnus does get a couple big kills heading on into the hard point right here. Jez able to find one before getting traded out, and I think we see Marshy rocking the GKS. So we didn't see that at all in the first matchup, but we do hit those shots. GKS able to 3-tap, and definitely excited to see a little bit more variety right here.
All right, well, a very, very close game on this P1. Only a couple points separate these two teams, and you can already see that we have Zy starting to rotate over for next. He's going to get gunned down by Marshy, who is rocking the ever-so-buff GKS. And, you know, that's something that I think a lot of players will certainly recognize Tech for in the past, but Tech got the LK-24 in his hands. I told you this may be something we see here. We do have Vague rocking the Demon Song Kilo, and as well as Bolu, and then Jez sticking with the CBR. So we did mention that a couple of these players may be rocking some of the new balance change weapons, and sure enough, that ends up being the case. So just want to throw it out there that I absolutely called that.
All right. Well, Envoy is ready to go. He's going to be able to get the assist as Kimwax looks to push through the top side. Zygnus not having a whole lot of success here on P1, but going to be able to get P2 locked down. Vague's going to drop as well. Like you mentioned, Tectonic rocking that LK-24. It's been a staple as far as his favorite goes for quite a while right now, so we'll see what he can make happen with that one. Is Zygnus now getting a decent chunk of time here on P2. Bolu is ready for the push. It's now Envoy left to defend, and he's going to get shut down. That means Bolu's going to be able to pick up the rest of the scrap time. And right now, it is all Tribe locking down at the top of P3 as well. Zygnus not in a good spot right now.
Yeah, Zygnus certainly not in a great position, but it is a big wallbang coming through for Kimwax, taking down Vague in top of blue. This is a big opportunity for maybe Zygnus to get into the point. Kimwax is in. You've got Marshy pushing, takes him down. GKS certainly seeing some pretty major buffs here. I'm interested to see if it ends up being meta this season or if it's just something usable. Obviously, you know, again, the CBR certainly going to be a gun to be on the watch for. But the GKS with the 45-round mag, and again, the major damage buff that it has, it almost feels a little bit more of a AR SMG hybrid once again. And it can be quite a devastating weapon for sure. And, you know, I mentioned this before. I think this is a great thing that COD Mobile is doing because we don't often see them bring back old weapons into the meta. The balance changes have never been favorable for those kind of changes. So I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it.
All right, now Zygnus got one player in position to lock down P4. It's going to be on to Kimwax. He finds one. Don't know if he's ready for the players behind, but he is. Vague is there. The return fire. Sparrow in hand. He's now sitting on 10 kills. Jez on 15. No surprise there. Tectonic struggling a little bit with the OK. I'm curious if maybe we see a switch. But with that being said, his teammate not having any type of an issue holding things down right now. Marshy still having no issue rocking some kills with the GKS in hand, and Kimwax rounds the corner, immediately shut down with that 3-tap potential, and Marshy left and right hitting beams. Jez gonna be there to clean up the scraps, and right now Tribe looking unstoppable here in the hardpoint.
Unstoppable is a understatement right now. They're getting ready to have a 100-point lead right now. Top frag for the lobby is going to be Jez with 18. We do have Yuhi with 16, so not super far behind. Envoy, typically speaking, one of the most consistent players that all of LATAM has to offer, right? And he's having a little bit of a struggle game right now. He's only on 8, and, you know, rocking the M13, it's certainly a viable weapon in the meta. Ooh, beams Jez out through the smoke there. That's definitely huge for them. And they're getting some ground here on this P1. I certainly expect this to be a fiery matchup, much like the last one. Kimwax comes through with a big 2. Yuhi finds an extra one. One thing I will say is it's a little weird that we have a, and I know he hasn't been playing a ton with the team lately, as far as competitive goes, but not having to Tio in the grand finals match when Zygnus is in just feels weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't feel like Zygnus if they don't have Tio. He's like one of the only players that through every season has always been on this roster. So we'll see if they can come through, but they're definitely struggling. Not necessarily saying it'll be a different result if he is in this matchup, because he's had his share of struggles this season, but they have not been able to find a foothold at all here against Tribe. Kimwax is going to be able to find one. Looking to push through the front side. Timing's just not there. Vague, Tectonic finding a couple for themselves, and still a 100-point lead right now as Tribe is not slowing down even a little bit.
Yeah, looking like they're getting ready to roll away with this one. You have Marshy rotating on up, gets taken down, and it's actually Zygnus filling up the kill feed right now. They get the break on into the hill. And, this is one of the things I just truly and deeply hate about the respawn system in Hardpoint. There's no reason that Tribe should get wiped off of P2 here, and 3 of the players spawn at the little barn on the outside of P2. Like, that just... I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but right now they
it's not as bad as Raid when someone gets wiped off of the point, like their whole team gets wiped and then players spawn on basketball court. It's not that bad, but I mean, can we punish them a little bit for losing the gunfight?
Yep. It's hopefully a change that we'll see in the near future, maybe for some 2022 champs action, but right now Zygnus doing everything they can to get themselves back in this game, and left and right it's just Tribe winning every gunfight that we can find. Kimwax is gonna pull out the equalizer right there and doing his best to stay alive. Fortunately, you don't have to ADS with the equalizer, so should be able to clear out that push from the front side. A 2-piece right there is gonna get some big value. And there's a whole lot of Zygnus in the feed right now. So this game is far from over. It's not going to be easy to make a comeback, but they're definitely on the right track right now with Kimwax picking up a GKS right there as well. Once again, you talked about Envoy's struggles early on. They need him to pick things up a little bit more. Marshy's going to get taken down as well, and Zygnus at least closing the gap a little bit.
We're realistically a good hardpoint hold away from Zygnus being right back in this game, and you see they have opportunities with a couple players pushing boxes right now. Maybe they can make the break here. Just kind of like looking at the score streaks, I gotta say, it may not be the most overall effective score streak, but for a map like this, where all of the hardpoints are inside with close choke points, I'm very disappointed that none of these players are running a gravity vortex.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity. Surprising, because especially it was one of the ones that we started to see more and more becoming like a dominant operator, and to see it just become completely forgotten is a little bit interesting. It could potentially be because of the buff to the purifier, and just because of how good it is in those angles where you would potentially use the gravity vortex. But it's not going to matter right here as Tribe goes big in game 1, and with more than 100-point victory, secure the 1-0 lead here in the grand finals.
All right, well, listen, I can't in any way, shape, or form ever justify that I think the equalizer is a stronger operator than
That's true. That's true.
At least not for this map, right? Like, maybe you can make some justification for a Hackney yard where there's 4 or 5 entrances to office, for example. There just is not that level of opportunity on, for example, your P2. You've got at most 3, and 2 of them are basically shared. Your P2, you've got 3, and 2 of them are basically shared. And realistically, same thing with P4. So I think that's a missed opportunity for a lot of players. I think it's a very underrated operator. And maybe that's something we'll see more of in the future. We certainly have some players that excel with it. One that comes to mind is Blur from the Goofy Goobers, so maybe that's something we see moving forward. If I remember correctly, I don't entirely remember seeing anything on it specifically, other than I think you can have multiple of the same operator in the champs rule set. Is that true?
I believe so. I think that's one of the few remaining requests that I've seen for additions to the champs rule set.
I think, yeah, that's terrible for the competitive health, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the variety that we've seen definitely it forces players to specialize, and also reduces the repetitiveness that we definitely find whenever we are in those scenarios where you have those specific operators that vastly outweigh the rest of them. I think overall having that variety there is definitely healthy for the game, especially on the competitive side of things. So we're getting ready.
It certainly gets boring seeing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I remember so much complaining about seeing every single player in the lobby use an Annihilator, every single player in the lobby using a Holger, every single player in the lobby using a Shorty, every single player in the lobby using a Thumper. Like, we want to see variety, especially in a game that, listen, I play a lot of Warzone, I play a lot of the console CODs, and the skins that we get in COD Mobile are just infinitely superior, okay? And I want to be able to see all that stuff get shown off. And that's just not something that we unfortunately have got a ton of in the kind of main Call of Duty Mobile competitive scene. So we'll have to see.
All right. Well, we're waiting for our players to ready up, and we'll be good to hop into the search and destroy. Obviously, a big opportunity for Zy, who has had some solid performances, but hasn't really had that breakout that we saw whenever he was on 11T. The team's still adjusting to maybe a little bit of chemistry changes with the absence of Tatio, but I think overall this team is, or this roster specifically, is definitely still capable of performing on the same level without Tatio. I'm interested to see what they can do up against Tribe, who it looks like is maybe being a little bit more experimental as far as the guns that they're using, so that could open up a door for them to get the win here in the search and destroy. But most of the time it does come down to more strategy than it does meta choice. So we'll see if Zygnus can pull something out right here and even things up at a 1-1.
Have we got any kind of official word on for example, what the map pool for Control is going to be, since they're finally getting the spectator stuff handled for Control? Or is that,
I believe, all the hardpoint and S&D maps?
Fair. Might have to look into that, and that might be a good idea for a video for you there, Bobby. Kind of go through all of the Control maps and kind of talk about where the points are, what maps have certain advantages to certain teams, and things of that nature.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm curious to study it, because I still don't really know what to expect. I haven't actually played it myself, and I hope that they add it to ranked as well. I think that would be a big opportunity just for people to learn too. But oh my gosh, this round is ending quickly. It's all down to Jez. Is Zy and Yuhi going to be able to take down his teammates? They get the information right there, and he's going to have to retrieve the bomb from a very inconvenient spot. Players zigzagging on the inside, waiting for him to make the move. Zy's got the angle with the sniper in hand, and Jez finally going to make a move right here, able to get a big chunk of damage, but Yuhi slides the corner. That's going to be an easy kill, and that's going to be round 1 for Zygnus.
All right, well, Zygnus, it's too early to call it a comeback or even a potential to tie up the score line, but 1 on the board early is certainly big for them. We've got plenty more opportunity, especially with Zy coming through and opening up with a first blood, taking down Marshy, who was kind of a demon in that last game. So we'll have to see. Bolu is going to answer back with a snipe of his own. I got to say, Bolu is certainly a talent that, listen, we saw him first pick up the sniper, and I was like, bro, put this thing down. It's not you. And you know, he kept working for it. He kept working for it. He was practicing, obviously, scrims and his ranked play. And we saw from season to season him really step up the sniper performance and being able to come through and compete with some of these top-tier snipers, right? So certainly a big matchup for him right now to be going up against the likes of Zai. We've also got Jez sniping. Another player that we've seen snipe a lot in the past, or maybe not necessarily a lot, but be able to pick up a sniper and just absolutely tear people apart with it, was Tectonic. So a lot of strong sniper lineup here for the side of Tribe that has developed. Jez going to find a big wall bang onto Zai there, taking that counter talent out. And that remains Kimwax. Well, never mind. I take that back. Jez just dumps for him.
Did you see Jez's POV of that? What the frick?
I saw the receiving angle of it.
I didn't really understand how that connected, and the second shot was almost more impressive because he beams him off the head glitch right there, but now it's down to a 1v1. Bolu versus Just. Bolu's got a sniper and a Mac-10 to work with, so honestly, kind of the two best options you could really hope for, and unfortunately for him, Just is going to be able to hear the audio of the bomb plant, slides right on through. Easy kill with a Mac-10 in hand, and Zygnus heads out to a 2-0 lead.
We have seen, and we have not had that many games here today, we have seen more pushes to be here on Standoff Search today than we have all season. Like, we saw the Goofy Goobers obviously run it earlier. I think this was more of like a just kind of the 1v1 try to throw him off play from Bolu, but I certainly, you know, I'm hoping to see more teams experiment with kind of those surprise B pushes, because if you get the picks on Ali or even Deli, you can really have a great opportunity to get a very heavy defensive position against your opponents. We do have 2 kills coming through from Bolu. He does have the Mac-10 in hand and was able to pick off Just and Envoy. Leaves Kimwax, Zai, and Yuhi, and while we did have 2 big rounds come through for Zygnus, I think this one is looking a little bit too tightly held down by the side of Tribe. Bolu's going to pick up another free one. Might be looking for number 4. Marshy does take down Yuhi. Now it's Zai last live. Bolu's going to pick that one up for the 4 in that round. And Bolu helping the team hang on into things here. It doesn't tie things up, but it does close that gap to a 2-1.
Definitely a big one for Tribe. Interestingly enough, Tectonic and Vague both sitting on a goose egg right now. That's 2 players that you don't typically see that out of, so they're going to be looking to get those players going. Tectonic is dead set on running the LK, which, especially for Search and Destroy, is definitely going to put him at a disadvantage. In the long range, you're going to encounter snipers. In the close range, you're going to encounter SMGs, and typically the LK-24 is going to lose to both of those. So Vague's going to be able to get the bomb down. Mac-10 right up against that tractor area, and now Zai looking for a wall bang that's not going to be able to connect. Looks like Yuhi could be first entry right here, and that's going to be Bolu around the corner. Does find 1, finds 2 actually, and somehow stays alive. I thought he was going to get traded, but they're getting picked left and right, and now it's all on to Zai, who's going to get dropped by Marshy there with a GKS in hand. And that's going to tie us up at 2-2.
All right, last round of the Tribe offense is getting ready to come your guys' way. Then we'll be switching sides to Zygnus offense and Tribe on the defense. We'll have to see if maybe that switches up the math a little bit here. Obviously, either one of these teams picking up a win here is a big advantage for them going into the second half. They're 1 round closer to closing this one out. And honestly, Zygnus need it more right now because they're down the hardpoint game that Tribe so dominantly won. Oh no, Zai, did you just walk into a grenade? Zai, you're lucky to be alive, bro. I don't know how you didn't see that, but you are lucky to be alive.
He's alive for now. Tectonic's right on the outside, so is Vague. Quick scope's not gonna land. That's concussion aid. I don't know how he's alive right now. Jez,
yeah, Envoy killed Vague and Tech. or Yuhi killed Tech. Yuhi finds Bolu too. That's 3 giant picks. And Yuhi's alive. He got hit markered by Jez. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. And that's the Zai that we wanted to see. Jump shot onto Jez right there. Kimwax cleans up the last one. And at least over on the offensive side, or rather the defensive side, Zygnus comes away with the lead. Right now, Bolu leading the way 7-3. Tectonic still sitting on a goose egg, and Vague only 1 kill so far. Both of those guys gonna need to pick it up if they're gonna have a chance at taking down Zygnus. And the hit marker out of Zai, that could have been a huge first blood, but Jez able to stay alive. And that's gonna be a rough start for Zygnus as they're not able to capitalize.
Yeah, like you said, that would have been a key pick to come through. You can see Envoy playing that angle that we saw out of Washi earlier. It's not really like an uncommon angle to get information, but it's not one that an AR is usually going to be able to capitalize as much on as a sniper, because it's such a limited window. But Bolu is able to come through and open up things with first blood, taking down Kimwax. Vague finds a follow-up, takes down Just as well. That's a 3 and a 4 taken down. Tech gets his first blood on the board, taking down Yuhi, and answering back quickly from a flawless round out of Zygnus. Oh, but Zai finds 2 before getting taken down. I don't want to say it's largely possible, but Envoy could absolutely come through the 1v3 clutch if he plays it absolutely perfectly here. You do have to factor in, though, that they are running out of time. He at least has the bomb in hand, so if he's able to get a pick, maybe he has a little bit more freedom. But rounds the quarter, Vague actually picking up, I believe he maybe picked up Zai's sniper there and was able to come through with the shot to clean things out, tying things up 3-3 between these two teams.
All right. It's Tectonic off of his goose egg in a big round for Vague, as I believe he picks up 3 right there. Now things starting to swing on the momentum side, and Zygnus in desperate need of a big round right here. Zai hoping for some sort of a miracle wallbang, and that, if it is possible to connect there, very, very close to doing so. Not going to be able to find Vague, and Marshy is going to find first blood as Tribe takes advantage, but it's 2 players dropping for Tribe. Vague and Bolu now out of the equation, and you got Tectonic still rocking the LK-24. Zai goes big right there, sniper in hand, and especially with Jez out, that's going to be huge. But Marshy picked up his teammate's sniper, and he's going to be able to find some revenge. 2v3 as they're ready for the retake, and he's going to get taken down all onto Tectonic. And the LK just not really made for that matchup as Zygnus retakes the lead.
Very, very close game here, Bobby. And, again, I think Zygnus need this one a little bit more, especially if we're hoping to see that round or match 5 grand finals, or game 5 match finals, rather. I'm just, so tongue-tied right now. This is horrible. This is a atrocious experience for me. Tectonic is getting literally hit by every stun grenade and every frag grenade under the sun right now. Big kill comes through as he picks off the head of Envoy. Bolu comes through with a 2-piece of his own. That leaves Zai in a 1 versus 4. I'm not believing in it happening here. This is looking like we're going to be tied up 4-4. And, these are kind of getting into the moments where I'm interested to see how those new champ search and destroy rules play out. Is it win by 2? Is it if you're going into round 11, we add extra search? Well, we'll have to see when we get there, guys. Maybe we'll get some of that information a little bit more fine-tuned out in the coming weeks, as, again, we have stage 3 right around the corner. Hopefully, Bobby will put in some good words, and maybe some of the players will stream it. Maybe we'll get some opportunities to watch party some of the games, or maybe even just cast some of the games. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, one can hope. Ooh, what a shot from Zai. Jez jumping off the top of the van, and he regretted that decision. 1v4 down to a 1v3, but I don't anticipate we're going to get any peeks from the Tribe members as they wait patiently to push on in. And Bolu actually spotted, but Marshy is there. AR in hand, and Tribe ties things back up at 4-4 right here. Very, very back and forth between these two teams.
All right, well, again, praying for that action here. This isn't the grand finals that we want to see over in 3, so hopefully no matter who wins here, we do get a little bit further into the action. Zai does get concussed there pretty heavy in mid. He was unable to get to the that mid street position that he was looking to maybe get a snipe out of top blue, maybe have some vision over onto the A bomb site. Vague has pushed all the way up. He's in a great spot. You've also got Jez playing the back of mid truck, and he's going to pick up a free kill here for sure. Takes down Envoy. Does look like maybe it's going to be just getting a free one on to Bolu as well, but Tex immediately there for the refrag. A 2-for-1 trade overall. Himwax just about gets taken down, but Yuhi able to come through with the kill onto Jez, saving his life. We're now looking at a 3 versus 3. Zai did get some information off of his trophy system getting destroyed right there. So, you know, it's kind of a gray area of information, but, you know, at least, you know, is a count of a tactical or a lethal down. And, Kimwax has survived on nothing over and over again, and Zai comes through cleaning things up. Sun over, Marshy's at the corner, he misses the shot, but Yuhi's there for the or the finish. And now Tectonic, last alive, 1v3 scenario. This is looking like Zygnus probably going to take us to map point here, if I had to guess. And once again, we've seen just more B plays than we ever have. So,
yeah, definitely like seeing some teams trying out some new things. You would think with LK in hand, probably not a feasible 1v3 for Tectonic, but he's done 1v4s with off-meta GKSs, so anything's possible. He'll look to make the push over toward Delhi. I think got the information onto Yuhi. He may actually not have even spotted him right there. Should know that he's going to be over on this head glitch, and surely enough, does spot one of them, but with only 12 seconds and how spread out they are, should set up the easy kill for Zai. That's exactly what it does. And now Zygnus 1 round away from map point. They definitely need to close this one out because from what it looked like in the respawns, they seem to be outmatched. I think they're probably capable of taking a domination, but as far as expectation goes for the hard point, I wouldn't expect them to be consistently dominating Tribe whenever it comes to those matchups. So they need, as far as they can, to be able to capitalize on these search and destroys as much as possible. They put themselves in position to do so, and right now they need the first blood. Kimwax weak, gonna be able to get away from the regen, and right now looking for the rotate back toward that A side.
All right, well, we're looking at map point still for the side of Zygnus. A little bit more passive of a round out of Tribe coming through here. Just like narrowly missed the push where he could have caught Marshy's back there. Ends up taking a couple shots, and he is just getting out of dodge. Here's the players pushing him. Still no first blood for either of these teams, right? Oh my god, Zai almost killed Vague. Oh, and Vague ends up picking up Just. If Zai would have landed that shot, Just is alive, and it's a totally different outcome so far. Heavy push out of Tribe here up on A. Vague finds 2 more. Puts 3 up for this round. He's now on the run. Zai, once again, just going to narrowly miss that shot on Vague. Bomb does get picked up. Well, we'll have to see the angles that ends up getting played here. We do have Tribe making a big rotation. You can see that we've got Jez and Marshy pushing all the way up into the Zygnus spawn, looking for the backside. Well, Jez is going to pick up 1 on Zai, and now Envoy's left alone in the 1v4. He finds 1, but gets dropped by Jez. We got a round 11 here, Bobby.
It's a tight one right now. Rough spot for Zygnus is none of the round wins have looked super convincing. It's felt more like anything, or more than anything, like Tribe has allowed some things to happen. They're gonna go crazy passive right here. Zai going prone on top of blue, hoping that he finds an angle, and neither team giving an inch right here. Kimwax taking a lot of damage. Yuhi gonna drop there as well, and with Marshy finding 2 off the start, that could be deadly for Zygnus. Marshy pre-fire in every corner that he can find, and right now Zygnus going to be pushed way back into spawn. They don't really have any map control right now, and they just got to hope that their snipers can find some picks right here. 1 rounding the corner as Jez finds 2. Disaster after disaster for Zygnus, and
just got turned on. Oh my
can't
goodness.
even find the last kill. 2 rounds in a row go in for Tribe, and they're going to start out our grand finals up 2-0.
That was rough. There's no way you can come up behind an opponent that is already half, not be able to finish the kill and get turned on. That can't happen. It's a little bit rough. But, you know, the search was at least way closer than the hard one, right? We got a great performance out of both these teams. You had plenty of players put up some really respectable numbers. And look at the overall spread for the side of Tribe. You know, with the exception of Tectonic is sitting down at 3. He had a bad game. Okay, that happens. You've got 10 for Jez, 10 for Bolu, 8 for Vague, and 10 for Marshy. You have 3 players in double digits. We look over at the opposition. You've got 9 for Zai. You've got 7 apiece for Yuhi and Just. You've got 6 for Kimwax, and only 4 for Envoy. So realistically, we had a lot more kills on the side of Tribe. But Zygnus were able to just capitalize on a couple extra rounds, right? They had a couple big clutches that came through, and it just wasn't enough to get them through this matchup. It's now Tribe up 2-0. We're going on to map point for our domination guys, and you will finally get to see a map that's not standoff as well. Not that I don't like standoff, but like, let's get a little bit of diversity.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even looking at the, like, Tech had the least kills by a pretty significant margin, but he also had twice as many points from assists for anybody else. So it's not even necessarily that he was playing bad. He just, like, is using an off-meta gun, so it's tougher to get the kills, but he was at the very least setting up his teammates to be in position to do that. Okay,
right, well,
everybody's telling me to download skins. Okay, guys, I'm downloading weapon camos. Don't worry.
Do you have the base weapons downloaded?
I do have the base weapons.
Are we looking at MAC 10s or are we looking at RUSs?
There are no RUSs on the screen. People just want to see weapon skins for some reason. Never seen weapon skins before, apparently. I'll do what I can, but my internet sucks.
I do think this kind of goes back into what I said earlier, where there's just like so many better skins in COD Mobile than there are in like other Call of Duties, where it's like we really just want to see that kind of stuff.
Yep, it's understandable. In my defense, I would have had it all downloaded, but the game decided that it just didn't want to work, so I had to reinstall the entire thing. That meant I had to re-download all the skins. So,
and you know what? Both me and Verdict can also stand up for you on that one, because we also both had to completely delete and reinstall the game. So
there we go.
Sometimes on update day, the emulator is just not friendly.
Well, also, I went to download the game, and it downloaded the Garena version, so I didn't even have the right version of the game downloaded, and I had to go download the Glow. I didn't even know it was possible to download the emulator Garena version. But here we are.
Foreshadowing chat, Bobby's going to be casting Garena this year?
Oh, no, their schedule is way too early for me.
You say that, and then you watch party like every time they have an event.
But I never watch party at the start. I start watch party like halfway through.
Okay, that's reasonably fair.
Maybe one. No, not one day. Yeah, probably not one day. I'm only gonna get older from here. So
listen, I believe there's a number that if they were like, "Here, Bobby, come cast this,"
oh, there's definitely a number, but I don't think they would offer me that number. All right, we got our players in.
Offer me that number, I got you.
I'll hit you up if they offer something in between. All right, this is kind of feeling like do or die for Zygnus right here. They find themselves down 2-0 up against the Giants of Tribe, and right now, knowing that the next map is going to be a hardpoint, you just really can't afford to go down 3-0. See what they can do right here, and it's 3 off the start for Zygnus. That's huge. The only kill for Tribe. Going in off a nade from Jez, and they get the information onto top laundry.
This is a best of 7, isn't it?
It is best of 7, yes.
Oh, I totally forgot that. Let's go. We're gonna have a lot of great action tonight, chat. Ain't no way we get a 4-0.
One would hope, and we do get a B cap for Zygnus off the start, so that's a good sign.
All right, well, small lead is starting to develop. It's actually a very early B cap for Zygnus as well, which is pretty key for them. One thing I would say would give them a little bit more comfort in this matchup, and it is absolutely not to say that you can't win from the C side, but the A side does tend to be a little bit favored on these teams. I think Laundry specifically has some better angles looking into arches than Red Room does. So I think that can be a very, very key factor. As well as some of the head glitches that you have towards Red Room is just better than the head glitches towards Laundry. So it's not a game deciding change. It's not a hack in the yard. It's not a crossfire, but it is a advantage that is worth at least mentioning. Right now we've got a 15-point lead for the side of Zygnus. Envoy is going to get gunned out of top red, but KimWax and Zy do come through with some big. Yuhi out of nowhere just comes through. It didn't necessarily say it was a wallbang in the feed, but that looked like he got him straight through the side of the building, honestly.
Yuhi is looking strong right now. He's sitting on 10. Next closest in the entire lobby is 6. Making 11 for him as he's on a 2 spree and trying to get some score streaks. He's already got a purifier to work with if he wants it, and Zygnus looking a lot stronger here on map 3 than they did on the first couple. Marshy is solo right now on the B flag, but he's going to get wiped off, and now it's Jez all alone over on the B flag. He's going to get cleared off as well, and that should be the opportunity for Zygnus to go ahead and wipe away that progress. Bolu still being a little pesky. They haven't been able to clear him out, and Marshy, the 2-piece with the GKS, is actually going to allow Tribe to get that B control.
All right, well, that was a must-have B flip for the side of Tribe. There's enough time left in the round that they can pretty much even things up around the 85-point mark if they continue to get the hold here. Just playing a nasty heady, but gets gunned down by Vague. The kilo just a little bit strong still, and gonna do plenty of justice in the side of Tribe, moving their way on up. Again, capitalizing on some of these better angles that Laundry offers has certainly been a big factor for them. And 20 points are separating these two teams right now, so great position for Tribe to close the gap. Switching sides in the second half might present them a little bit of an issue because they've done great at holding Zygnus back at potentially getting the A flip. So they've maintained this side of the map control, and they're just now starting to get the value of it. Oh, Vague turns on Zy there. Marshy finds Yuhi as well. Gets full concussed, but I mean, with picking up 2 kills like that, there's like really no harm of Vague getting pushed here. Just is able to find 1. Zy's now pushing up, looking to aid his teammate. Vague get a slide, the corner gets out. Vague having a struggle bus game right now. Picks up kill number 7 just now. Definitely a couple players on Tribe trailing a little bit behind here. Yeah, to be fair, we've got 5 for Envoy and Zy too. So.
Yeah, Vague, Tectonic, and Bolu all sitting on 7. Obviously, Tech still sticking with the LK24 for right now, but he's actually on a 5 spree, so very, very close to a Pred, Lightning, and Cluster if he can make the play for it, but he is going to get beamed off the head glitch. That's going to be big. Tribe still holding on to the double cap, but some of that A progress is going to get wiped away, and with that being said, Tribe finds 4 in the feed. That should lock down any type of progress we'd see anywhere, and it does look like they're going to go into the half with the lead. Bolu on that left side does get shut down, but Marshy's still there, and he is just not missing a shot with the GKS. The movement too clean as well. Now sitting on 17 as we go into the half with a Tribe lead.
Well, my calculation was certainly a little off there. I thought they were only going to have time to get about 95 a team. We end up getting the full 100 with the last 12 seconds on the board for the side of Tribe. And they're only sitting up 2 points above Zygnus right now, who did have a fiery start to the first half of the domination. An early TAC 5 comes through, actually saves KimWax's life, and he's able to pick up that kill. That might give a little bit of ground towards B to the side of Zygnus. Yuhi's able to clean up that extra kill onto Marshy, putting number 15 on the board. Jez and Marshy, though, 18 and 8, 17 and 11 coming through with some big numbers there. Go ahead and pop up our handy dandy score streak and operator tracker. No score streaks for anybody, and the only operator we've got left is a half burned out Sparrow for Vague here. He's able to pick up one. He's now starting to get this push up towards B. Last shot fires off into Laundry. Not going to find anybody as nobody's home. And Yuhi able to pick him off, takes Tech down as well. Very minor progress, a little touch for Zygnus on the B, but nothing crazy. And now Tribe, you can see, are starting to swarm over to B. A 1-for-1 trade comes through. Zai looking for head glitch on the Lambo, but he gets absolutely dusted by Jez.
Right now, it's looking like the winner's probably going to be the team that picks up B first. And right now, it's looking like it's going to be Tribe. Marshy finds 3, the GKS. Definitely not an easy gun to use, but in the right hands, it is lethal. Marshy on a 5 spree right now and looking to get some streaks. If he's able to get that lightning and cluster strike to go, more than likely that should be enough to give Tribe the leeway to not really have to worry nearly as much as they would about protecting that B flag. Yuhi pushing through mid, gonna be able to find Vague right there. Tectonic and Jez dropping as well. Marshy in the top side, and Bolu actually with the pinch from the opposite side is gonna be able to get a couple of kills and go ahead and wipe off that B progress.
Marshy got the spawn flip.
Wow. Spawn flip, and he's still on that 5 spree right now. Has a death machine to work with, and if he can get these streaks, once again, Zygnus going to be a rough spot.
Especially with Laundry control now going over to the side of Tribe. A couple flashes come through. They at least get information. Marshy wallbang death machine comes through, and Tribe are just picking Zygnus off. It's looking right now like we're probably going to be looking at a 3-0 lead for the side of Tribe. Zygnus, they do get the B back, but they are starting to get limited in time. There's plenty that they could make the comeback happen, but Tribe, again, they have the ever so slightly stronger side by having A. But Zygnus have actually played their C side quite well, so I don't know how detrimental this is. And if they're able to hold this B, they absolutely could make the comeback happen.
Right now, Kimwax, perfect nade cook, but I believe there's a trophy up there that's going to be able to save them. Vague able to take him out of mid, and Tribe doing their best to just make it as easy as possible to win. It's definitely not triple cap territory right now, so Zygnus...
I don't understand how Jez plays on such horrible ping. It guns the ever-loving life out of, like, almost everybody. Triple cap possible for Zygnus here. Zai turns at the wrong second. Oh no, Bolu rotates behind. We almost had triple cap there for Zygnus. We've also now got Marshy pushing on to B. He's able to gun down one, but gets taken out by Kimwax. Tribe have a big window here to get back on B, and this is still such a close game. You've got Yuhi in a big position, but he doesn't have an angle on Vague. The B cap's going to come through for Tribe. With only a minute left, that might potentially be the nail in the...
For the feed!
Oh,
Kim B-cap if they play it right! Vague can't see through the smoke right there! Jez is gonna be able to get 3, I believe, and he gets a pred missile as well. It's a question of whether or not Tribe can get back to B in time. They're gonna go ahead and hop on, but Jez not able to get the bicycle kill.
Just!
4 in the feed! They clear B! Zai's gonna go ahead and lock it down. Zygnus, their hopes are alive right now. The Sparrow's gonna get shut down. The Annihilator is there for Zai. 3 in the feed. 17 to his name, and Tribe scrambling to get back to B, but I don't think they have time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to happen almost instantly here. Kimwax picks up an extra 2. Envoy saves his life from Bolu. That is going to be it. I'm pretty sure Zygnus have the win in the bag. We're triple cap territory, and there's only 13 seconds left on the clock. Zygnus have put at least 1 on the scoreboard, and that is going to guarantee us some extra action here tonight, guys, in the Tribe versus Zygnus matchup. What an incredible domination coming through for these two teams.
Wow, I didn't think there was much of a shot at Zygnus pulling that one out, but they go big at the end right there. That's one of the only domination games that we've actually seen go to 200 points, and whew, that was a juicy one right there. Is, I mean, really looking at the scoreboard, I think it was advantage Tribe pretty significantly. There was one positive player for Zygnus. Jez goes +12, Marshy +3, Bolu plus 8. Vague was
It's
the
only
only player
13
going
kills.
negative.
It's 13 kills in favor of Tribe, so it's a substantial number, but clearly not enough for good execution and good team play to not be able to come through and capitalize. Top frag may have gone to Jez with 30 and 18 on the board, but again, you look at the distribution of caps here on the side of Zygnus. You've got Himwax with 8 on board. You've got Just with 6, and then 4 and 3 for Zai and Envoy. Yet Bolu only come through with 1. So that's what, a starting cap on one side? Got to
Yeah,
have a little
I
bit
feel
more
like Bolu's typically one of the more objective heavy players for the team as well.
I think he did play some longer cover angles for the team, so I mean
Okay.
it does make a little bit of sense. But I mean 1 is still just a little bit low to me. Again, is that necessarily the difference maker there? No. I mean, I think Zygnus just really excellently played the end of that game well. We had Zai, who was massively underperforming for what we normally expect out of him, popped off in the last like minute of that game. I think he came through with three pieces to his name. Kimwax had a couple 4 pieces that brought him back into still being negative at 19 and 23, but I mean that was a big jump up from like the 11 and 19 that he was at. So that was just a great execution out of Zygnus there at the end.
Yep, they especially the near the near triple cap at the end paid off huge dividends, as that put a lot of pressure on Tribe, and they were just scrambling at the end trying to get back to B, and they didn't have enough time to do so. So credit to Zygnus for capitalizing and catching them off guard a little bit. Honestly, for them to be able to play the first half, the entire chat is vague clown emoji right now. So
that should be no shock though at this point in time, right?
It's always a good one when these two teams go up against each other. So next up, we've got another search and destroy. Is that correct? Yeah, firing range search and destroy.
That sounds correct. Yeah.
Always interesting order when it's best of 7. So hopping back into the search and destroy, Zygnus didn't look bad, just not quite good enough to close it out up against Tribe. So.
Well, the search came down to around 11 last time, so I mean, there's plenty of argument that this search could go either way. You could possibly have a tie series at the end of this game.
Apologies, my voice is already starting to disappear, so I'm trying to maintain it the best that I can. But thanks everybody for
you, Bobby. You're just recently getting over. You had COVID, right?
Yeah.
So you're still on kind of the tail end of that. You've done a lot of casting the past couple weeks. You know, you picked up an extra Thursday as well. You got to cast with Verdict at least once because I had salmonella poisoning and slept through Bubble Mayhem. So it's been an exciting tail end of the season for you.
Where'd you get salmonella from?
The peanut butter, man.
Oh, the Jif?
The Jif peanut butter, yeah.
Oh my gosh, what are the odds?
Yeah, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on Friday and Saturday at work. And then Saturday evening was like, again, I'm normally up late playing Warzone with Tech and Verdict. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, which is like unheard of for me. And then, you know, it was a rough couple days. I mean, I'm sure it certainly is like no comparison to COVID, but I just slept.
It sounds
so
worse
much.
than the COVID that I had.
Well, then you're pretty fortunate because some people have got it and it's pretty rough. I got COVID
true.
At the very beginning of
that.
COVID,
Yeah,
and I had like no
is
symptoms.
very different from Omicron COVID.
I had no symptoms. I had literally no symptoms.
Well, there
so
you go.
I got like really lucky there. So
okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for our players to ready up, and we'll be good for game 4, I believe it is. Thank you everybody for your patience. So close. I will do my best to get these uploaded tonight on the stream channel, but also I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, so they might not go live until
subscriber
tomorrow
overload
night.
for a minute or two might be a good idea too, by the way.
Okay. I got you, mods. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah,
You guys.
even the Latam mods are like, yo, sub please.
You're welcome, guys. All right. Everybody's ready to go.
All right. Well, we're getting into our blue versus maize matchup. Oh, well, maybe not.
Maze. Oh, come on, guys.
Wait, come on. We had the whole discussion about state and U of M earlier. Like, we had to make at least one play on the blue and gold here.
Touche. Touche. Thank you, everybody, for the confettis. Much appreciated. Anybody know if that counts toward the event thingy, or I don't even know.
That's a lot of confetti, dude.
They don't. They do so many of these event thingies that I don't know how. Okay, let's see.
Bobby just literally maxed out on his spell rockets for the week in 45 seconds.
75,000. Does it increase when I refresh? I don't think so.
I kind of want to actually go watch the thing now. I think I
can. Do I have a spell rocket? My bag.
You have to have a spell rocket.
I have 3 spell rockets. Wait, I have a 2 cool. What's that? Oh no. Guess we'll find out.
Sitting here watching the Boost Project counter thing just go up. Kind of funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, everybody's ready to begin. Attempt number 2. Here we go. All right. Mods, I apologize in advance. Also, Pangy, I'm sorry for taking off sub only as you subscribed. And everybody says no ping, no party.
I like how he subbed while it was on sub only mode and then didn't say anything anyway.
Yeah. He just wanted to be a loyal viewer, you know?
All right, Sir Datron. Take a nice hard one-day timeout.
All right, well, Jez with a quick first blood onto Envoy right there. See if Zai can return fire. He was in the spot. Oh, that's not where you want the nade to go. Definitely less than ideal. Looking for the jump shot from American. Very nearly landed one onto Vague through the smoke. Now it's Bolu creeping up through that tin window, and Vague, it looks like it's going to play the waiting game with man advantage. Or actually, no, Marshy's out of the equation. Bolu's going to find one. Zai drops right there, and that's going to make for an easy defense for Tribe. Jez finds Kimwax as well. And that's another going through. Just finds one, but not before getting traded out. And that's going to be Tribe taking round 1.
All right, well, round 1 in favor of Tribe. I do believe we had a Zygnus round 1 start last time around, but it did end up going Tribe in the long run, so maybe we get a reverse of that. Maybe Tribe just come through and dominate. Maybe Zygnus flop around and they come through and give Tribe the business. Only time will tell, and there is plenty of action left here, guys. Remember, the last search we had went all the way to a round 11. Oh, Envoy, you had to know you were going to start taking shots there. Jez going to come through with the wall bang to pick up first blood. And, you can get the smoke too, homie.
Man, Jez's snipes have been on point so far, and Zygnus finding absolutely nothing right now. Zai finally finds Marshy, but it's a 1v5, and Bolu puts him out of his misery pretty quickly right there. That was a little bit quicker than probably Zygnus would have liked. They got a total of 3 kills so far. Bolu and Jez combined for 8. And right now, Zygnus looking a little bit confused over on the defensive side of things. Yuhi, concussion gonna go out. He gets the information right there, but probably a little bit late to try to go for a nade kill right there.
Oh, Zai.
Oh, he finds 2 and I didn't see
Zai!
either of them. That's unfortunate.
Both wall bangs, too.
We'll see if he can maybe pick up another one right there. It's going to be Bolu crossing through bathrooms, so no angle for him to work with, but he's sitting on 3 right now, and oh man, the timing just not there again. Looks like Bolu might peek mid right here, but he's content to play the waiting game. And oh, the hop up, not gonna land. A lot of wall bang damage there as well. He's not trying to take any risks, so he's gonna back up to bathrooms and see if maybe he can bait Zygnus into something. Kimwack's gonna find one. Zy finds another. Seems like he only wants to hit the snipes when I'm not spectating, and now it's all down to Marshy, who's immediately shut down.
Yeah, unfortunately for Marshy, he went for the... Oh, my game just froze. Unfortunately for Marshy, he tried to sneak the plant in there a little bit too close to the enemy line, and they heard him out, and they went for the push. Bolu obviously getting taken down on the other side of the map. And, well, that is a little bit unfortunate for Tribe, but we kind of, again, have the mirror of that first matchup, right? We had Zygnus take 2 and then Tribe take 1. We've got it in reverse order right now, so only some spicy action. Is it going to make a difference? I don't know if we're, like, really hoping for the exact outcome in reverse, but, you know, it's kind of one of those weird details that for some reason I noticed.
All right, now Jez looking for the cross. Not spotting anybody. Vague bomb in hand, and he's going to plant on the back of the A site. Jez again. Big first blood for Tribe, and that's going to allow them to back up and play the defense from the bathroom side. Sees one crossing mid, can't land the initial shot. That should allow him to get on into trailer. Right now, pressure being applied, but Jez is there to ease it off. Nearly finds 2. Can't find the follow-up there either, but now it's all on to Kimwax. He can't find anything for his team. Tribe extending the lead back out to 2 as they go up 3-1.
I'm not quite back in the game yet, Bobby, so I'm going to have to ask you to carry me a little bit harder here. I'm trying.
All good. We're just rocking with it right now as now Tribe sticking on the offense. Zy, Nate's going over top. They're just trying to get some information right now. Nothing really connecting on either side of things. Tribe sending some back their way. Marshy gets caught off guard, but he's going to stay alive. And who else? It's Jez again, finding first blood. He's now got 7 to his name. Sitting at 7-1 right now. He and Bolu combining for 13-3, and still Envoy trying to find his first kill of the game. All of Zygnus really struggling to find something right now, and Bolu's gonna find 2 again. The pressure on to Kimwax and Zy to try to find something right here, and the angles are just not there. Bolu's behind the bomb, so he doesn't have an angle to work with. And now the clock's ticking. Just the top side gets absolutely obliterated by Zy. Now a 2v3. Bolu not moving from behind this bomb site, and he will once he hears the gunshots go through. Tectonic shuts down Kimwax as well. And now Tribe with a 3-round lead.
All right, well, Tribe are certainly at least starting to run away with this one. They've got the 4-1 advantage, but after round 5, we do switch sides. And one thing I will make note of, Bobby, is moving into the 7-round search and destroy setup, you're going to have that extra opportunity when you switch sides, where if you had a bad half, you've got like an extra 1 round of cushion to try to get your act together. So I'm certainly thinking that's going to be interesting moving forward. Zy finds a literal frag onto Jez, and Bolu pushed up Mac 10. Does find a couple shots, but is unable to finish it. Bolu's been frying. He's on 9 right now with Jez on 7. And then Marshy at 3, Vague at 2, Tech at 1. This is like the Bolu Jez show right now. Oh, ends up getting gunned down by Yuhi. Sorry, Bolu, cast a curse. My fault.
Yuhi getting pushed up to A. Marshy peeking through. Not giving him too much right now. Does Marshy have a sniper? And Marshy does have a sniper in hand. If I had to guess, probably pick that up off of Jez's dead body. Nearly finds a 2-piece right there, but going to be able to retreat to trailer. He's still got Tectonic with him, but 2v4 right here, not going to be easy, and especially with Zy hitting shots like that. Now all the pressure down to Tech. He's going to be able to bait a free kill out of Zy, but still got 3 Zygnus players to try to deal with. An Envoy over top of the head glitch. Going to make light work of it. Zygnus trying to bounce back right here, but they've still got a pretty big gap to close.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Could make the comeback happen. Not a big deal. I think one of the saddest things, Bobby, is I'm going to lose my if you found 3, you can find 3 more saying, because we're going to 7 in the future. So that's a little sad, but you know, we do have 2 excellent teams that are not quite tied up in the series. We're, what, a 2-1 advantage right now for the side of Tribe. And Envoy going to get a early bomb plant here. We've got no first blood yet, but that's going to set our timer at 45 seconds. It's now ticking down, and it's against Tribe. So Tribe, they've got to make the plays happen here. We do have Zy picking up 1. Vague was able to pick up Yuhi before he got dropped. So 1-for-1 trade. Tech takes down Kimwax, but Zy finds kill number 2. Just takes down Marshy. We've got Jez rotating behind. Zy puts up kill number 11 to take him down. Just finds Tectonic, and maybe one of the last times you'll ever get to hear me say this. If you found 3, you can find 3 more. Zygnus, they can still make this comeback happen and potentially tie up the series 2-2.
Zy is not missing a whole lot right now. Every time I spectate him, he seems to be hitting something ridiculous. Sitting on 11 and 5 right now, and trying to get Zygnus back into this game. We got Vague as the lone defender on the B site, and I don't know how neither of those... What? I don't know how... maybe he was hitting the bomb or something else, but it looked like shots should have connected for Zy. Marshy's going to peek across. I think Vague's in the corner, but he may have backed up. He's going to get dropped by Yuhi. 4v4 is now there is nobody defending on the B side, and Tribe obviously has the information, but not really much of an opportunity to make a play for it. So they'll have to play the waiting game, and more than likely it looks like they're gonna give up the free B plan and wait for the retake.
Certainly looking to be the case right now with the trade of Vague for Just. You certainly got to imagine that one. Neither team really hurting on it. It's not their top fraggers, right? It's not your Zy, it's not your Bolu, it's not your Jez. But I do gotta say, Zygnus, they can't rely on just Zy to be pulling together the kills here. It is literally Zy at 11 and the rest of the team at 2s and 3s. Meanwhile, you look over at the side of Tribe, you've got 2 3s in Tech and Vague, but you've got 9 apiece for Bolu and Jez and 6 for Marshall. So a little bit more even distribution, and you know, coming down to Zy being the last alive. That's going to be Tribe closing that one out, and we're now on map point for Tribe here. And Zygnus, again, we need to see a little bit more life out of the rest of the team. Zy cannot be expected to single-handedly carry you guys through this one. I get it. You know, there may be some ping disadvantage or whatever. There, you know, may just be some bad rotations, some unlucky gunfights that were close. But you just got to get a little bit more. Yuki does open up with 1. That's at least a step in the right direction. Zy now looking to rotate over as well. We do have Vague pushing jungle side, or at least up to that corner that we saw. I want to say it was Band dropped down in front of someone from upper echelon earlier. That's a corner you have to check. This is such a common corner to sit in because you have full coverage from upwards of spawn. Bolu is able to take down Yuhi, just able to get a wallbang onto Marshy. Wallbang Mac 10 kills, not super common. Vague does pick up Kimwax as well. We're now looking at a 3 versus 3. Just is taking fire, but he's going to make it out alive. Envoy takes down Vague, but gets gunned down by Tectonic. The trades are just back and forth right now. And Zygnus, they need this one so bad right now. Oh, Bolu saw Just. Oh, this is not a great position for Just to be in. He's lining them up. Oh, walks right into it. Oh, that's rough.
Right now, it's hero time for Zy. He's in a 1v2. It's map point, and this would put them into match point if he's not able to close it out right here. Is able to get the read. Is B site pretty much wide open, and Tribe is content to sit in bathrooms and wait for them to make the play. Bomb's gonna go down. We'll see what his play is gonna be. And thought maybe he was gonna go with the, I can't remember if it was Learn or somebody else from Godlike that went for the quick walk up through tin to try to catch him off guard, but he's actually just gonna sit on the inside of Cubby, and that's just a little bit too predictable. I don't love that spot, especially when you got a sniper in hand. That's going to be a free defuse, I think, for Tectonic. Maybe just wait until the last second to go ahead and get that through. But right now, Zygnus definitely backs up against the wall as they get ready to head into another hard point against Tribe.
All right, well, Tribe do come through and close that one out in 6-3 fashion. A little bit more convincing than the last Search and Destroy, obviously, that went all the way to a round 11. But this one is not over yet. The 3-1 lead match point favor does go to Tribe here, but Zygnus are certainly a team that you can never count out. We had Jez come through with 10, Bolu with 11, Tech with 5, Marshy with 6, and Vague with 4. The opposition, again, it was pretty much entirely the Zai show at 11 kills, and then 4 for the rest of the team except Kimwax, who's able to get 2 on board. So hopefully more life come out of Zygnus in the upcoming hardpoint. We obviously saw in that domination, even if they're not necessarily completely in charge of the kill feed, that their teamwork and team execution can be devastating to even the best of the best, which has currently been Tribe this season, right? They are by far in the lead in the standings. They've been the most consistent team in the North American competition. Now, that's not to say they're unbeatable, right? Because we've seen this team certainly drop games in series to other teams in the past. But again, consistency is a big factor, especially coming to a grand finals matchup.
Yeah, it can't be understated at all, and I think especially looking at the scoreboard for this game, whether it was ping, whether it was confidence, Zai really seemed to be the only player that brought his A game. So, yeah, when you're going against this level of competition, everybody has to be at 100%, and didn't really feel like that was the case for Zygnus. So we'll see if they can things around, maybe make that happen as we get ready to hop in to our next game. It is going to be hardpoint on takeoff. This is one that can snowball very quickly, so if you're the team doing the snowballing, then big thumbs up. But right now it's been Tribe in control for the most part in the respawns, despite the fact that Zygnus did take the domination. So we'll see what these guys are going to bring to the table as we get ready to hop in to game number 4, 5.
Odds hit all of the inappropriate guys. Just hit him with a day. Hit him with a day. Get him out of here. We've already had too much of it tonight.
Yeah.
Both sides are getting a little out of control. Okay, guys, you know what is expected for family-friendly mobile mayhem. This should not be new to you guys. There may be 1,500 of you here, but there were 1,500 of you here last season too, and you guys know better.
The rules don't change.
Correct.
They're always the same. Thank you, mods. We appreciate you guys dealing with the children. It is greatly appreciated. Day, going into this one, what does Zygnus need to do to take a hard point?
I mean, honestly, right now it just comes down to blatantly winning a couple more of their gunfights, right? I mean, their strategy and their teamwork has obviously been where they've been able to capitalize, specifically looking at some of the rotations and counter pushes they made in the standoff Search and Destroy, as well as obviously going into that domination. They were at a kill deficit, and they were still able to make it happen. It was a fairly narrow gap, right? I mean, it was sub 20 points at the end of that game, but I mean, it was still just phenomenal execution, some great rotations, having each other's backs. So you certainly, again, expect if you're going to have that level of teamwork, a couple extra kills are going to go even further for you than they would normally if you're, playing in sets of twos or even a set of three on your rotations. This is a team effort. Takeoff is a very weird map for hard. And to be fair, I feel like search is firing range is kind of a weird hard point too, because there's map space where a fifth hard point really makes sense on these maps, and it's just not there. So you kind of have a not quite as potent as a firing range connect the dots of a P3 going into P4 can be a very easy rotation to make. And, those are the kind of rotations that Zygnus really need to capitalize on. And again, winning a couple extra gunfights are going to go a long way in them holding their spawn.
Well, we'll see what they can do. Just waiting for Marshy to ready up, and we should be good to go for Game 5. Zygnus trying to keep their hopes of a mobile Mayhem North America.
Icon came through with 100 confetti.
Whoa! That's a lot of confetti, my guy. Much appreciated. I didn't even know you could send that many confettis.
I think I'm going to one-up him.
Do you have that many confettis?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, impressive.
I lurk a lot when I'm at work. I'm usually listening to a stream at least.
I gotcha.
Oh, there you go.
220. Holy freak. That's a lot of confettis. Much appreciated.
Yeah, get you that spell rocket.
Yeah.
I feel like I never see you use those things. I bet all of yours expire, don't they?
I use them every once in a while. I used one just now. But I do frequent. How long do they last? Do you know?
I think you get like a week to use them or something.
Okay. Well, then some of them have probably expired. Is it just from mana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it boosts you to the recommended.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody here is from the recommended page watching Trovo Showdown, not Trovo Showdown, this is Mobile Mayhem. It's late. Trovo Showdown was on Saturday. Thanks for watching. We're going to hop into the action soon. I don't know what Marshy and Kimwex are waiting on. They're just taking their sweet time. You know what? We'll turn off sub only and see.
Tech was restarting his phone or something.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, all of Tribe is ready, so we should be good, I would assume, pretty soon here.
One would certainly hope. Waiting on Kimwax to get readied up, guys, and we'll get you into the action. It's going to be a potentially final match of their map of the night, Hardpoint on Takeoff. I would say this is not my least favorite map in the game, but it's certainly not my favorite either, so take it with a grain of salt, chat, but at least it's not Crossfire Domination or Hackney Yard Domination. Talk about a map like nearly impossible to flip too, right? Like Hackney Yard Dom. Oh.
This is basically impossible to flip for all intents and purposes. That's the one that was it Shift who was casting that? I think he was casting it for Japan Stage 4. And both teams spent the entirety of their halves trying to flip, and they didn't even capture their own home flag.
Yeah, it's let's be glad we don't see that anymore.
Indeed.
I really want to jump into the control maps and see where they're at, because one of the things is they kind of have a bit of freedom with the points, right? Because a lot of the maps that we have in this game are older COD maps that were not necessarily available when control was a thing, right? You know, like your, for example, like firing range and firing range, standoff. We probably won't have meltdown because you don't play that for hardpoint. But there's a lot of maps that just like they don't have like a set idea of where the control points would go off the rip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is going to be, especially because most of the, or at least the old hardpoint spawns for maps are based off where the hardpoint spawns were in the original games. Going off something brand new is definitely going to be uncharted territory for the COD mobile developers, especially on the esports side of things. Kim Wax is restarting as well. Okay.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
At least we're getting information.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have the Odin coming out this update?
We do. That's gonna be that's probably a good thing that there will be a cooldown on that, because it has the potential to be a 2-shot AR. I don't anticipate people are gonna be able to consistently 2-shot. Huh?
2-shot headshot?
No, 2 shots to the chest.
Really?
Yes. I think it might actually be one to the chest and one to the lower body. It's
that is exceptionally strong.
Yes. Now it does have slow rate of fire. It also has a small magazine, and I don't think it has amazing accuracy. So I think it's going to be very difficult to do it with. But I think once pro players figure out the right gunsmith builds for it, it's probably going to be pretty lethal. But we'll have to wait and see.
Listen, pro players out there, if that gun is a 2-shot, I absolutely 1000% expect you all to immediately jump on banning it, because that was too OP when it came to the SKS. So.
True.
And this one's technically full auto, even if it has a slow rate of fire. Like, you've now taken the skill cap out of the SKS and put it on a full auto gun. So I want every single one of you, I want 100% voting to ban the Odin, or you're all hypocrites.
A guy can dream, you know? A guy can dream. Sorry, chat. We're still waiting on Kim Wax as the energy drains from my body. I'm an old man.
Still need that coffee sponsor.
The thing is, if I drink coffee this late, then I like lay in bed and I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. Don't drink it
this late. You drink like that extra cup of coffee at like 5.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, and then 4. I didn't do it, and then I regretted not doing it. Hindsight's 2020. Kim Wax game won't load. Oh, nice. That's the way mine was earlier.
Kim Wax, just come cast. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll play for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, Bobby's probably the better option.
I don't know what we do in these scenarios.
I guess we give it a minute, and then I don't know. It's hard to say, because like obviously it's not his fault if his game won't load, but they also have a sub on the lineup. Not that I necessarily know if they're able to play tonight or not, but you know, obviously we also do have a rule book to follow.
Maybe.
And listen, everybody in chat knows I'm a Zygnus fan. I don't want to see them get DQ'd or have to play a 4v5. But the reality is, like, we do have a rule book.
Maybe he just restarts the game. Or not restarts, reinstalls
the game. Or
hard
restarts the phone.
Yes. I'm trying to think. I don't think I had any issues with game loading at all. Outside of on the emulator. And I don't think he's playing on emulator.
I'm gonna be honest. I did my update on my phone when I restarted when I reinstalled the emulator, and it's kind of amazing to me that, like, you know, sure it's an emulator, but theoretically, like, my computer has way faster download speed than my phone does. My phone was done like with the download and all of the like 3 GB of camo updates and map updates and everything, like before the emulator was even at 50% of having the game download.
Huh. Yeah, it is always weird whenever, because I'm like, now that I think of it, I should be downloading the gun skins right now, but I have like 50 megabit download speeds, and I get like 0.7 for my game download. Like, what? What is the correlation here? Because it
I
can't
have
be what I think
gigabyte
it is.
download, and then I do a Warzone update, and it's like 100 megabytes. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
the BattleNet
where's the
installer
other
is super
90%?
slow. Well, Chad, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Admins.
Somebody,
We have like an official ruling or like direction that we're heading, or what do y'all got for me? This is your area of expertise. Me and Bobby are just casters, and Bobby also partially owns the company.
somebody just give him a new phone. Easy. Zygnus trying to pick up a sub. Oh, their sub's trying to load in. Gotcha. Word.
Is Tio coming in or Raven? That's the question.
Question is Tio streaming?
No.
No. Okay.
Which is why I was saying earlier, I don't even necessarily. Yikes! Tio trying to join on data.
Well, that's not good. I mean, if he's got good data, honestly, some people's data is probably better than my Wi-Fi. So
Fair. It is Mexico, and I don't mean that to sound bad, but the infrastructure there on a whole or on an average is not as good.
let's see what my speed test is on my phone right now. I probably only have like, oh, I do have 5G. What? I didn't know I got 5G out here. Speed test.
I'll run one too for the giggles.
Well, I have better download speed than I have Wi-Fi. Nice. And not quite better upload speed, but the main thing would be the ping. Let's see, 28 milliseconds ping. What's my speed test for my computer? Oh no, it actually is significantly better download by like a lot. Am I playing a stream somewhere? I guess my Trovo stream's running.
Yeah, that is kind of taxing on your internet. Speed testing while you're streaming is probably not a great idea.
No, but my download speed should be fine. Okay.
Theoretically.
Well, it's only a 3 millisecond difference in latency, so
There you go, Bobby.
especially given the fact that
Ooh,
Kimwax is back.
Plains? Oh.
Jazz, ready up. I think we're good. Yeah. Let's go. All right.
Get into the game, guys. Potentially the last one of the night. Got Tribe versus Zygnus. Tribe lead 3-1 right now. And obviously in a best of 7, we are going to 4. The first hard point is opened up and ready to go. Zygnus, this is do or die right now. There's a lot of money on the line this season, Bobby.
Yeah, we got a little buff to the prize pool, so $3,000 in total on the line, and Zygnus is playing like that's the case right now. They come out guns blazing. I feel like I have not seen a Tribe kill in the feed. They have a total of 1 kill right now. Meanwhile, Zygnus is sitting on 10. Make it 11. Make it 12. They left and right. They're winning every gunfight possible, and this is the start that they needed.
All right, well, Zygnus are looking fresh out of the gate here, and Kimwax is on a 4 streak right now. Not well. Caster curse is just so painful sometimes when it happens. I feel bad about it. I legitimately feel bad about it. I did it to Bolu earlier. I did it to Kimwax now. That's a little bit rough, but we've also got Just frying out right now. 7 kills on board. Next closest is 5, which Vague just picked up, and Zai just picked up as well. Definitely hoping for big things here out of Zygnus, though. You know, this is a series that we definitely don't want to see be over super early, even if it makes our night go up a little bit longer. This is the grand finals. This is the night that, you know, should be a little bit longer than normal, right?
Yep. These guys are doing their best to make it happen. Oh, big feed right there for Tribe. And they are now on the hard point, looking to tie things up and take the lead right here. Right now, Zygnus struggling to break through this map control right now, especially with Jez getting pushed out. That's a huge 4 in the feed for Zygnus, and they're going to be able to, just like that, take the hard point for themselves. Vague going to get beamed off, and right now, reinforcements coming from the backside. Everybody's spawning over toward next for Tribe, and they're very content to go ahead and play for that. Jed's nade gonna go out, more than likely giving away some information. Now Zygnus trying to... Oh, how did Vague not get spotted from above? Bolu is gonna get taken down below. And Zai trying to find Vague. He's gonna be able to do it there, and now he's sitting on a 5 spree.
All right, well, very close game once again between these two teams. Vague has bumped himself up to 11 on the board. Just is at 14, though. Certainly been a big factor. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that Yuhi and Envoy are struggling as much as they have today. They've been 2 of the biggest and most consistent respawn players that this team has to offer pretty regularly throughout the season. And they're just not having a great day today. Again, you know, maybe there's some ping factor or whatever, but I mean, ping has potentially been a factor all season too, right? So it's just pretty tough to say here.
Well, right now, Bolu is terrorizing mid-map as he is not missing a single shot, and it's shown in the scoreboard as Tribe does end up taking the lead. They move that out to around 10 as everybody right now for them is set up and ready to go over on P4. Right now, it's Yuhi completely frozen in time. He's going to be able to move up to the top side. Free Fire's not going to land. Marshy makes him pay. A whole lot of Tribe in the feed, and it's all on to Envoy to try to hold things down, but he gets shut down on the inside of the hard point. And Tribe gets the break, at least for a second, but Zai is there waiting with an Annihilator to the face. And Zygnus looking to get back into this lead.
Very slowly starting to inch forward, only about 10 points or so right now, but they do still maintain control of this P4, and they're continuing to fill up the feed. Jez and Tech finally come through with a couple kills to potentially make the break. They do get in the hill, but Zygnus are marching their way right back over as well. You can see Marshy and Jez have actually made rotations over to start getting ready for new. And ooh, Zai wins a big gunfight there and might actually get the pick on the Marshy here too. Oh goodness, Zai, what a slide coming through.
I'm not gonna lie, that gunfight didn't make any sense. I thought Marshy played everything correctly, but maybe the ping advantage was just a little bit too much. He does get his revenge, takes down Yuhi right there. Tech sitting on 17 and 10 right now. Nice little KD alongside Vague at 22 and 18, and looking over at Zygnus, it's Zai. It's the Zai show. He's doing everything that he can. 24 and 11, more than double positive, and looking at getting some score streaks right here as well. He's sitting on a 5 spree and trying to play these outskirts, not getting too aggressive, because those score streaks can play a huge role in the overall outcome.
All right, well, only a couple points separate these teams right now as Tribe tie things up. There's only about 10 seconds of trickle left on this P1, so obviously we're going to be looking at these rotations over to next. You have Tectonic here ready to go. You also had one other, I'm not sure who it was. They died a little too quick for me to make note of, but it's actually Zygnus can be first on the hill for P2. They make the break. You see Zai getting a trophy system down for the team. His eyes on 24 right now. Just is on 25. Top frag does still go to Vague, however, who picks up kill number 28 and 29 with the 2-piece to make the break on the hill. He's positive 16 right now, so in a great place for the team. And Marshy with a big rotation from behind is going to find 2, make it 3. And Tribe get a solid rebreak onto this P2 hill.
Yeah, Vague making things just look so easy right there, and making life easy for his teammates as well. Marshy bobbing and weaving on the inside of the hard point. He's going to be able to find 2, and now Tribe back pretty comfortably in the lead, dictating the pace of the game exactly the way that they want to. He's going to be able to slide down those ones around in the corner, but can't win the gunfight. Just goes big. He's going to be able to pick up the scrap time, and once again, it's a foot race on the way over to P3. There's one player there for Tribe. It's Vague, and he's going to be able to find that first kill in the top side. So got players down below to contend with, but Jez is there. He's ready to help. There's 3 in the feed, but they've still got to find a way to take Vague out.
All right, well, Tribe have extended their lead to about 30 points, and, you know, they're also first on to next. Purifier does come out for Tech. He's able to find 1, but immediately gets refragged out, and now everybody's kind of struggling and scrambling to get on the hill. I got to say, Zygnus had multiple players, like, right on the edge of the hill, but a little bit longer than I would have liked to see to actually get their body on the hill and start getting those points up, especially when you have things like the Annihilator that came into play for Zy there, ended up burning most of it out, finally takes a shot, and then gets taken down from behind. That is an operator that you've almost got to play a little bit more aggressive, right? If he would have got top control with the Annihilator, he certainly could have found multiple picks on Tribe members trying to make the rotation into hill. And instead, it's a key operator that got wasted, in all honesty.
Yeah, you got to get more value out of it. Right now, Zygnus backs against the wall. They hit the early rotation here on P4, but they got to make the most of it. Seems like the perfect time to hop on into a listen-in with Zygnus Esports.
Buena, cabrón.
Secret.
Estoy stuneado en punto.
Secret. Ahí no secret todavía este Tonic.
Aparece en L.
Maté secret.
En L, entró.
Muertos,
Está en el escritorio.
muertos, L.
Muertos.
Otro L, 2L, 3.
L, entran.
Ah, matado estadio 1.
Güey, si está quedando
Vayan
en el punto,
rotando.
güey. Era mucho más fácil.
Tienen tag.
Vayan rotando.
Uno medio.
P1.
Ahí te vas ahí.
Muerto a mí.
Abajo estadio, güey.
Ahí no, tome estadio.
Un punto.
Secret.
Arriba, ellos lo tienen.
Queda uno rojo,
Venga,
main rojo.
Dobles muerto.
Top estadio. Ya saben
Ok.
cómo defender,
Arriba rojo.
Arriba blue, muerto Dani,
Top rojo.
Top rojo un tiro.
Estás tuneado, top rojo.
L, aparece en L.
Top blue muerto.
Tocado en punto, güey.
Muerto punto. Arriba rojo sigue. Sigue arriba rojo. Sigue.
Voy.
AC.
Muerto 2L, tengo spawn.
Top rojo, güey. Top rojo sigue, güey.
Punto muerto. Otro más, dobles. Pone L.
Go.
Well, Kim Wex going big right there. A whole lot of kills, and he's going to be able to pick up number 30. But Zygnus still in a rough spot as they're trying to find a way back into this game. They find themselves down 60 right now, just sitting at plus 15, but just not quite enough to snag them the lead. They get a little bit of time there at the end. An early rotation from Kim Wex could be big if they can hold it, but he's about to get pinched from both sides. They need reinforcements quickly. He's gonna be able to find 1, but like you talked about, Dave, just not a whole lot of value out of the equalizer.
There's literally no point in time where that doorway, I'm ever going to say the equalizer is better value than a gravity vortex or a sparrow or a purifier. Even if you don't necessarily get a kill with the gravity vortex, right? If he would have had a gravity vortex in that instance, he probably still gets the initial kill. But if he times the two shots right, you know, you've got like 4 or 5 seconds, right, where the opponents cannot push that door. It's a zoning tool that is, again, not necessarily always going to get you the kills, but it maybe buys your team more time to get into the hill. The one kill with the equalizer just was that, right? It was one kill, and then he died, so the enemies got to push him. Is that ultimately the factor or a reason that Zygnus lost here today? Probably not. I mean, there's plenty of things that Zygnus could have done better. Again, I think it largely comes down to just winning more of their gunfights. They did step things up here in this game. I, in fact, think that they pretty much broke even or were very close to breaking even on this game. But again, unfortunately, just weren't able to make it happen. There was a situation there where, you know, if they had a good P2 hold, they're right back in the action, right? They're almost tied up with Tribe. And unfortunately for them, Tribe do come through and make the break. And that is going to be it for tonight, guys. Tribe do pick up their 4th game of the series. They're going to close things out in 4-1 fashion. And they are not only going to be your NA, but also your LATAM Mobile Mayhem champions for spring of 2022.
Yeah, congrats to Tribe. Their dominance continues, and they are definitely looking like a force to be reckoned with heading into Stage 3. I believe Stage 3 actually is going to start before next season of Mobile Mayhem. So definitely make sure you guys keep your eyes out for when that's going to be happening. I'm going to do my best to try, hopefully in every region, to get people that are able to at least watch party cast, whatever it would be, some of it, because I know you guys would love to see that action. That's some of the best teams, and honestly, it's the biggest bracket style tournament in COD Mobile that really happens, and we don't really get to see any of it. So hopefully we'll get to check out some of that action. But congrats once again to Tribe. Their continued dominance looking very, very strong, and especially with Tectonic on this roster is going to be very, very difficult difficult for anyone to deal with. So Day, any final words before we wrap things up?
No, just congratulations to Tribe and a hard-fought game from Zygnus. And, you know, they really put on a show, even if it did come down to 4-1. A lot of those games were very, very close, right? You know, especially like the Search and Destroy on Standoff was a phenomenal game of Search. Definitely got to give a big shout out to the likes of the Goofy Goobers and Upper Echelon as well, who literally gave us one of the best 3rd place, if not the best 3rd place match that we have ever seen in Mobile Mayhem, right? We had a Game 5, Round 11 Search and Destroy close things out for that matchup. So huge shout out to all the players that came out and played today. Big shout out to all the content creating pros that also came through and gave you those raids. Big shout out to the admins that always come through and do all the heavy lifting in the background that you guys maybe don't get to see how much time and effort that they put in. And of course, a big shout out to all of the viewers. You guys coming through, I think we peaked at 17 or 1,800 of you guys in here at one point. You know, you guys coming through are what make all of this possible. So we appreciate you guys very, very much.
Yep, we appreciate you guys. I think that was the most viewers that we've ever had on Trovo Mobile Mayhem. So that was big night. And once again, Tribe versus Zygnus, always going to be a great one. But thank you to everybody that made it possible. Definitely make sure you guys are following Day for more Mobile Mayhem action on Trovo and on YouTube. It's going to wrap things up for the night and for the season. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to drop a follow if you guys haven't already, and we will catch you guys in the next season. Adios.